It is surprising. I don't believe he would take his own life. Talking to people from the bar, talking to friends of his, all they told me was all he talked about was Gabby.
Right.
You know, how much he loved her, how much he was trying to get his life together.
That was Brittany James, the estranged wife of missing Marine 29-year-old Lance James. The two had been separated but share a beautiful daughter, Gabby. She's 5 years old. Now, we've been following the story of the missing Marine Lance James from Clementon, New Jersey. He was last seen on December 2nd, 2016, leaving a pub, the Hideaway Tavern, also in Clementon, after a altercation is what authorities told me then. Now, for weeks, his family and friends have been searching for Lance along with the Clementon Police Department and other local agencies. Now, Friday, the fears of Lance James's family and friends came true as his body was found. It was in Bottoms Lake in Clementon, not far at all from the Hideaway Tavern. Now, authorities had scoured the lake before, just after Lance had gone missing, but the warmer weather now has made it easier with the ice melting in the shallow lake to uncover Lance's body. So I spoke in detail to Lance's estranged wife, Brittany, about his struggles over the past few years.
Even before he went into the Marine Corps, he had issues. His biological father, from what he had told me, denied him. You know, his stepdad was very tough on him, loved him very much, but very tough on him. He felt that he never had like a true father figure from what he had told me.
She told me that there's no way that she thinks that Lance would take his own life, and she still suspects that foul play was involved and somebody knows something. His body, according to the authorities, showed no signs of trauma, which is a different story than we heard of Lance being bruised and bloodied from leaving the bar that evening on December 2nd, the last day he was seen alive. Now, toxicology reports are not in as of yet, but suicide or accidental drowning hasn't been ruled out.
That doesn't necessarily mean that there weren't cuts and bruises from the fight.
If he was at the bottom of a very cold body of water, it's going to act the same way as if you or I were hurt and put ice on it. It's going to heal itself.
And also, it was over a month and he was in a body of water, and his body wasn't in the state that it was, obviously, when he left that bar.
And I don't want this to sound cold, but this does sound almost exactly as what it is. Guy got drunk and walked out of the bar and fell into a lake and died because it was freezing cold that night.
I think all the signs point there, you know, obvious depression, the amount of drinking that he had been doing. His estranged wife also told me he had been looking for bar fights, you know, and he was banned from many of the local
It sounds
bars.
like he had some issues.
I've covered numerous stories of young men who seemed very agile, went to a bar, and then they were missing and found in the Hudson River. Their bodies were pulled out of the body of water. One of the ones that sticks to my mind the most is Andrew Jarzik. He was 27 years old. He had gone drinking with his friends, and then later on he went missing, and then when they looked for him for about a month, they pulled him out of the Hudson River. That's where his body had been the whole time.
Right. Same thing with Shane Montgomery. I also chased another from a story up in New York City. Yeah, you know, it happens quite often. The victims always seem like they share the same age, look, and build.
But drunken young men in bars sounds to be more like the common thread than veterans.
The bar has actually done a lot in regards to looking for Lance. They held a vigil over the weekend and let go balloons with the family and friends for Lance after his body was found.